Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers, and today I'm going to show you guys boots on the ground footage and data that there's a lot more inventory with new construction that's being reported on MLS. For example, on MLS, there's about 8 homes listed for construction in this community, and you guys can see from behind me, there's way more. So I'm gonna tour this community, go over some really important stuff. Do me a favor if you guys can, for giving you some boots on the ground data. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you guys enjoy because these are areas we're really gonna wanna pay attention to. This is a brand new subdivision. This is about 5 miles from my house. In fact, I had no idea it was here. I'm gonna be keeping my eye on this because not only is it brand new, I believe as a result of all of this overwhelming amount of inventory and the fact that people just can't afford to buy right now, I think that the foreclosure risk, especially in these new communities like this, is gonna be greater, far greater than existing homes. Because again, the price cuts. Now, if foreclosures start to happen, obviously that's going to create additional bad comps. So it's a little bit risky, especially these new communities. Now, the name of this community is called Peppervine, but I really hope you guys get a full picture of just how much inventory is shadow off the market inventory throughout the United States. Let's start by talking about inventory that's being reported on the MLS. Now, right now, there's about 8 active listings for the Peppervine community. And let me just turn this around real quick, just so you guys can get kind of an idea of the amount of construction that's going on right now. Now, I counted roughly 23 homes that they're working on right now. So we already know that there are well over 8 homes that are able to be built just from walking this. Now, I was also able to talk to the sales rep, which by the way, did an exceptional job at explaining the programs and the community to me. So big ups to the sales reps here. Absolutely remarkable. However, they have roughly, when I went in, they told me they have roughly 17 spec homes available. So not only do they have, a lot of inventory that's not even being reported on MLS, there's roughly 8 or 9 subdivisions within a few miles in the proximity of the subdivision. So there's an overwhelming amount of inventory right now. The really cool thing about this community is it's relatively affordable when looking at the median. Now, when we look at, the last 2 years of equity growth, it's not. But these homes are priced at actually the low 200,000s to the low 300,000. The square footage is anywhere from 1,200 to 2,300 square feet. So this place has a lot of off-market inventory. And if that's happening right here, it's happening all over the place. The advantage of this community is this is a relatively new community and it's relatively small. Moving forward into the future, this will be our data set and basically an ecosystem of a new build that's literally about 8 minutes from my house. The total amount of houses they're gonna build here are 225 houses. So they have another 180 houses to build before this subdivision is completed. So I hope you guys are starting to understand that when you come to new builds like this and you have boots on the ground, you get a true picture for just how much inventory and how much building is going on right now. Again, when I looked at MLS, I didn't even know this was here. There was only 8 active listings. They got 17 available. They got another 180 houses they're gonna build. You guys can see they're building an entire block right there. They've already pretty much sold the other one out right there. Now where I'm walking is just, look at all these lots. I mean, there's lots all over the place that I'm circling. Those are all lots. So on one hand, if we just look at MLS, only 8 homes available that are being worked on. That's it, not a lot. But when we get here, the reality is they got another 180 homes coming to the market and they have double the amount of inventory than is listed on MLS. This is really some amazing stuff. I hope you guys can really appreciate coming out here. And I would recommend, if you have new developments in your area, go there. See if they have a lot more inventory than what's really being reported on MLS. Now, obviously, the fact that there's so much inventory is one of the reasons why prices haven't sustained when it comes to new homes and new construction. Now, I'll end this video by taking you guys to the other section of this development that's all raw land. But right now, what I want to do is move on to our next scene and tell you guys about the buying incentives that are going on right now in this community. Again, mad respect to those sales reps. It just so happens that these guys were exceptional. It doesn't always have to be problems. Now I'm gonna be walking down the road. You guys see some of the incentives right there. I mean, they got this whole community, basically signs everywhere trying to get buyers into here. But let me tell you what they have right now, at least when I went in to talk to them. Now, first of all, they have a $12,000 what they call flex pay that they'll take right off the top of the homes, or you can use towards closing costs. If you use their lender, they'll give you $22,000. Also, what's really, really crazy, and this is Pulte. Obviously, you guys see Syntax right there. That's Pulte. The mortgage company is Pulte Mortgage as well. But Pulte Mortgage, listen to this guys, is offering a fixed rate, 30-year fixed rate of 5.375. Again, when I went into there. That is absolutely remarkable because again, with these types of buying incentives, especially when it comes to the payment and interest rate, you can't touch it with existing homes. So not only are these homes priced comparably low as far as to the median, they're also offering ridiculous interest rates. All of these signs you can see here, convenient location. They're paying closing costs, essentially. They're trying to get you into 5.375%. I'm gonna turn back the other way. A couple more signs you guys can see. A few more signs down that way. But remember, new home construction companies must sell. A lot of people are like, where you're gonna get the inventory, where's the for selling gonna come from? Well, both of those things are gonna be coming from new construction. Remember, they have to sell these houses regardless of the condition. So not only do we have massive amounts of inventory, not even being reported on MLS, we finally have an affordable community within about maybe, relatively affordable. It's still way overpriced. Relatively affordable community, and we have another 180 homes coming in here with massive competition all around here. Y'all saw I showed you about 8 additional subdivisions, and this is what I'm thinking as we go into the fall and the summer, and as long as those guys are still in the office. Again, man, I'm blown away, especially by the mortgage loan officer, because y'all know I grilled him. Y'all know that, and I'm gonna give props. I'll give respect where it's due. They came with A game, clean information, definitely appreciated that. One thing that I liked that they said is, we make sure everyone has a realtor. If they're working with a realtor, we find out about it, so it was important to them, which I respected. But either way, fire sale, y'all. We go into those winter months, those fall months, and that's if anything that's already in contract doesn't fall out. But as we go into those tighter months, as a company, even if this subdivision isn't in bad shape, as a company, Syntex and Pulte, number 3 builders, Pulte, they're gonna have to sell these houses quick. They have financing obligations. Either way, that's what's going on with the incentives. One of the problems, once again, with the incentives being price cuts is it could potentially trap the existing owners, which is the dangerous thing about getting into new communities like this. Although again, it's relatively affordable right here. Let's get real, guys. I'm gonna tell you the challenges that new builders are really facing right now. Essentially, all of the incentives I just went over with you, it's just not enough to protect them from a downturn in the market. Again, excessive overbuilding. Let me throw up a couple stats so you guys could really understand what's going on. Now, right now, new home supply is at 7.3 months, and that's before the revisions. Obviously, revisions always happen. Now, where I'm standing right now is an entirely separate section of this development, so they still have all of the stuff you can see in the background to build on. But not only do we have a buyer's market in new construction, again, it's over 6 months, making it a buyer's market, sitting at 7.3 months. We also have 676,000 new homes that are being built right now. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, that number, and I hope you can see that here, is tainted. When I look at the MLS, I can see maybe 15 homes here, but only 8 are active. When we come here, look at the amount of money that's in here. There are so many challenges. Not only do they have that supply, they have this whole backlog of homes that are under construction. Now on top of that, not only do they have the supply, not only do they have all these homes under construction, look at how much permits have been pulled. Y'all, we're sitting at 1.5 million permits being pulled. So these new home builders are probably trying to take advantages of certain tax breaks and certain things like that. But again, the fact that buying demand is completely wrecked and these buying incentives aren't working anymore should tell them that things are probably going to get extremely challenging. Who knows for how long? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, who knows? And we see this start to sink in with the new home builders because we've seen new home building sentiment completely plunge. So it's starting to sink in that these buying incentives are no longer working. Now, another challenge has been the overwhelming increase in interest rates. I mean, the thing is this is one of the most affordable communities, but you still got to make probably $150,000 just to move into one of these starter homes. The biggest home here is 2,300 square feet. And that's probably priced at about $330,000. So that mortgage payment's probably going to be around, just spitballing right now, $3,200 with taxes and insurance. This is outrageous. And unfortunately for the recent homeowners, really the only solution here is the prices have to go down. So let's now go into another segment where we talk specifically about prices. So let's talk about some price challenges. Now, unfortunately, even with all of these incentives, crazy incentives, new homes just cannot sustain their value. Let me throw up a chart from Fred. Now, as you guys can see, since about October of 2022, home prices for new construction have been plummeting. Now, on average, they've gone down about $60,100. They're down 12% on average, and that's not counting the 8% it would take for them to even sell their house. Again, every time, and this is what happens, every time the new home builders cut the prices, it puts everyone behind me at risk of being trapped in their house, and basically it puts them in a situation to where the comps are now priced below what they purchased their home for. And think about this, the really troubling thing is if any of these people need to sell right now, they now have to compete with the builder who's offering insane buying incentives. So my point is understand there are still a great deal of challenges that new home builders are facing, and if you purchase a new home, you're gonna wanna do your research on the community. I feel a little bit safer about this one because it's not a master plan community that has 8,000 homes to put up. However, being that we're right in the front of the recession, I think it's going to be really interesting to pay attention what happens here. And again, this is one of the sections where it's already been sold. I believe they've been selling since March of 2023. So they've been selling probably because it's the lowest priced home around. I hope this boots on the ground video gave you guys more insight on just how much inventory is not even listed on MLS. And not only that, this is going on around the nation. So think about how many homes, how much inventory we actually have. So I really don't think we have an inventory problem. I think we have a problem that everyone knows already. We have an affordability problem. And until we start seeing the prices start going down, even insane, crazy buying incentives are not enough. And the last thing I want to end on is if you guys are interested in purchasing new construction, remember to have representation. It is so important to get multiple inspections done throughout the construction process, and it's very important to have someone reviewing the documents. They have a monopoly on the transaction. You have to use their lender, their title company, so you want a realtor to make sure that you're not getting taken advantage of. And don't forget, the builder pays for your realtor. So don't think necessarily you can get a better deal without a realtor. Do not learn that lesson the hard way. This is Texas. The humidity is out of control right now. Like the video right now, you guys. I'm out here, I'm sweating, I'm uncomfortable. I went in there, I've been here for hours. Again, I hope you guys got a clearer picture of what's happening around the nation. I understand the real problem is affordability. And other than that, guys, if you are out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck and I hope you win.